Session 18, The Spending Hand, Stewardship at the Point of Decision. Welcome to Session 18. I am Rich Abbott, The Steward's Mind, Week 4, Session 3 of 5. Of all the financial behaviors that reveal what we actually believe about money, not what we say we believe, what we actually believe, spending is the most honest mirror. Your bank statement is an autobiography. It tells the story of what you value, what you fear, what you're trying to feel, and what you actually believe about the future. Not the story you tell yourself, the real story. Today we look at spending through the lens of stewardship, not with a budget worksheet and a list of categories to cut, with the question, what does the spending hand of a faithful steward look like? Part 1. Spending as a spiritual act. I want to challenge an assumption that many people carry into their financial lives, particularly people with a faith background. The assumption is that spending is spiritually neutral at best and morally suspect at worst. That the good Christian is the one who spends as little as possible, lives simply, never indulges, always defers. That enjoying what money can provide is dangerously close to materialism. That assumption is poverty theology expressing itself in spending behavior. Ecclesiastes 5 verse 19. Moreover, when God gives someone wealth and possessions and the ability to enjoy them, to accept their lot and be happy in their toil, this is a gift of God. The ability to enjoy them, that is in the text. The enjoyment of what God has provided, the good meal, the comfortable home, the quality tool, the experience that enriches life, is framed not as a moral failure, but as a gift. The steward who receives an increase and refuses to enjoy any of it, who hoards, withholds, and defers enjoyment indefinitely in the name of virtue, is not faithfully managing the master's resources. They are operating from scarcity, from guilt, from a theology that has not read Ecclesiastes very carefully. Spending can be a spiritual act. Receiving the enjoyment that God built into the provision is an act of gratitude, not greed. The question is not whether to spend. The question is how and from what posture. Part 2. The 3 postures of spending. In my observation, there are 3 primary postures people bring to spending, and only one of them is the posture of a steward. The first posture is scarcity spending. This is spending driven by fear. Fear of not having enough. Fear of missing out. Fear of what others think. It manifests in 2 opposite but related ways. Extreme hoarding, where nothing is spent because loss feels catastrophic, and impulsive overspending, where money is spent quickly to avoid confronting the anxiety of holding it. Both are driven by the same underlying scarcity belief. The second posture is identity spending. This is spending driven by the need to signal status, belonging, or self-worth. The purchase is not primarily about the item. It is about what the item communicates about who you are. This is the engine of consumer debt in the developed world. Spending to project an identity that your income cannot sustain. The third posture is steward spending. This is spending driven by intentionality, by asking the steward's question, Is this the wisest use of what has been entrusted to me in this moment? Steward spending is neither hoarding nor impulsive. It is neither self-denying nor self-indulgent. It is deliberate. It reflects values. It aligns with the direction the steward is building toward. The steward can spend generously on what genuinely matters and say no firmly to what does not out of deprivation, out of clarity. Part 3. The budget as a steward's tool. I want to reclaim the word budget from the realm of guilt and restriction and give it back its proper meaning. A budget is not a punishment. It is not a document that reminds you of everything you cannot have. A budget, properly understood, is a steward's plan. It is the answer to the question, given what has been entrusted to me this month, how do I want to deploy it? Every steward needs a plan. The Proverbs 31 woman does not wander through her financial life reacting to circumstances. She considers, she plans, she acts with intention. The parable of the talents rewards the servants who had a strategy, who put the resources to work deliberately rather than burying them. A simple steward's plan has 4 categories, not dozens. 4. Give first. Before anything else, a portion goes out in generosity. This is not guilt giving. It is the steward's acknowledgement that the resources are not ultimately theirs and that open hands are part of the posture. Save second. A portion is set aside, not spent, not given, but preserved for future deployment. This is not hoarding. This is building capacity. The ant in Proverbs 6 stores provisions in summer for what is coming. Saving is foresight expressed financially. Invest third. A portion is put to work, growing, compounding, building toward the long-term capacity that week 5 will address in detail. This is the talent being invested rather than buried. Live fourth. The remainder funds the life, housing, food, transportation, the enjoyment that Ecclesiastes affirms is a gift, not the remainder of whatever is left after everything else has been spent. The planned remainder, allocated with intention. Give, save, invest, live. In that order. That is the steward's spending plan. Part 4. The impulse and the pause. One practice that has the single greatest impact on spending behavior is the pause. Before any non-essential purchase above a threshold you set yourself, whether that is $20 or $200, insert a pause. 24 hours for smaller amounts, 72 hours for larger ones. During the pause, ask the steward's question, is this the wisest use of what has been entrusted to me? Not, can I afford this? A person can technically afford many things that are not wise deployments of entrusted resources. Not, do I want this? The wanting is not in question. The question is the stewardship. The pause is not about denying yourself everything you want. It is about introducing intentionality between the impulse and the decision. Most impulsive spending does not survive a 24-hour pause, and the spending that does survive the pause is more likely to be spending you will not regret. Part 5. Reflection. Look at your last 30 days of spending, not with shame, but with curiosity. As a steward reviewing the management record, what posture does the spending reflect? Scarcity, identity, or stewardship? What one change in your spending pattern would most directly express the steward's identity you are building? You do not need to overhaul everything at once. Name one thing, then do it. Closing declaration. Say this: my spending reflects what I actually believe. I choose to spend as a steward with intention, with gratitude, with clarity. I give first, save second, invest third, and live on the rest. I do not spend to feel better or to signal status. I spend to faithfully deploy what has been entrusted to me. This is Rich Abbott. Session 19 is next.